students, welcome to the series on business environment. The topic of this lecture is components of business environment in continuation with the last lecture. In the last lecture, we talked about the internal environment as the component of business environment. In this lecture, we will discuss in detail the external factors affecting the business or the external environment. Business environment is comprised of internal and external environment. The internal environment we discussed earlier in the last lecture. So, let's have a quick view of the components of external environment. The external environment is subcategorized into macro and micro environment, as you can see in this diagram. Micro environment is categorized into customers, suppliers, market intermediaries, competitors, public, and other factors affecting the business. Macro environment is categorized into the following factors: economic factor, political factor, socio-cultural factor, technological factor, natural factor, demographic factor, and international factor. In this lecture, we will discuss in detail the micro environment. The external environment influences the business directly or indirectly, but the business has no control over the external factors affecting the business. External factors keep providing the opportunities and threats to the business. It is very important to analyze the external factors and change the policies of the business accordingly to keep the business ahead in the competition. It should be kept in mind that the external factors are dynamic and they do not remain constant, they keep changing. Business can be successful only when it is adaptable to the changes in the external environment, and the management should remain aware of the surroundings of the business. In the words of William F. Glueck and Lawrence R. Locke, in environment, there are external factors which constantly bring opportunities and threats to the business firm. It includes social, economic, technological, and political conditions, which means that the external factors like socio-economic, legal, political, and cultural factors bring opportunities and threat to the business and influences the business directly or indirectly. The external environment, as we discussed earlier, is divided into micro and macro environment. Let us discuss the micro environment in detail. The factors that affect the ability of the business to operate or the forces which are close to the business like suppliers, customers, intermediaries, etc. form the micro environment. It is the immediate environment that affects the business. The micro environment is also known as operating environment of the business. The micro environment consists of suppliers, customers, market intermediaries, competitors, public, other factors like regulatory agencies, business partners, and labor union. Different micro-environmental factors affect the same industry differently, or a single environmental factor may affect business firms in the same industry differently. In the words of Philip Kotler, the microenvironment consists of factors in the company's immediate environment which affects the performance of the business unit. These include suppliers, market intermediaries, competitors, customers, and the public, which means that the suppliers, customers, market intermediaries, etc. form the immediate environment surrounding the business, and it affects the performance of the business. Let us now study the various components of microenvironment. These various components of microenvironment are suppliers, customers, market intermediaries, competitors, public, other parties like regulatory agencies, business partners, and labor unions. Let us talk about suppliers as the component of microenvironment. Suppliers of the business provide raw materials, tools, and machinery to the business. They also provide the other provisions which are required for the smooth functioning of the business. If the supply is stopped or disturbed, then the business will not be able to complete its target on time, and as a result of which it will start losing the customers, and the business will ultimately have to shut down the operation. The solution of this threat of closing down the operation of the business completely is to have multiple suppliers. So, if one supplier is not able to provide the tools or machinery or the raw materials on time, then the business may contact the other supplier. In this way, the target will be accomplished on time. In this case, I would like to refer to the example which we discussed in the first lecture. For example, in the production procedure, raw materials are procured through outside agencies. Even the tools and machinery are purchased from outside. So, the dealer for these tools and machinery may delay the delivery of the machines. The business may have a project in hand and the production cannot be started at the company due to the unavailability of the machinery. In this case, the project will not be completed on time and the customer may get dissatisfied with the business organization. This was the example we studied in the first lecture, that was the introduction to business environment. The business should maintain a stock of inventories of components if they foresee the delay from the supplier's end. This attitude of uncertainty from the suppliers may be because of the attitude of the business for asking concessions. This should be strictly avoided. The business should thoroughly perform the business research and look for suppliers who match the cost at which the business wants to procure raw materials, tools, and machinery. The business should keep track of the financial position of the suppliers as well as suppliers' attitude and change in the external environment which affects the suppliers as well as the business. So, we have understood that the delay from the supplier's end may result in paralyzing the business, or the business may have to shut the operation down completely. It should be kept in mind that the suppliers are reliable to ensure smooth functioning of the business. Because if the suppliers are not reliable, then the business will have to maintain high inventories which will increase the cost of the business. Business should depend upon multiple suppliers so that if there is a situation of lockout or strike at the firm of one supplier, then the other supplier may be contacted. This was how suppliers affect the microenvironment, and this was how the suppliers affect the smooth functioning of the business. The suppliers are from the microenvironment, which is the external environment, and it is not in the control of the business. This should be kept in mind. The other component affecting the microenvironment is customers. The modern concept of business emphasizes on earning of profit through customer satisfaction. Modern business believes in providing high quality goods and services to the customer to ensure their satisfaction. This will also ensure the loyalty of the customer, because if the customer is satisfied, then he will keep loyal to the business. Customer is regarded as the king of the market. The customers of the business may be wholesalers, retailers, industrial users, foreign buyers, domestic buyers, government and other institutions. The approach of business for different kind of customers is different. Business spend lot of money on marketing research to understand the taste and preference of the customers. The business products or services should be of high quality and match the consumer's preference completely. If the business does so, then it ensures its long-term stay in the market. Customer satisfaction is the reward for winning the competition. The competitor of the business may provide a better quality product to the customers, so the business should ensure best quality products and services, advertisement of its products or services, and after sales services, so that no other competitor can match this quality standard in the market. The income level of the customer should be kept in mind by the business. The best way for customer satisfaction is segmentation of the market. Let us understand how this segmentation can be done. This segmentation is based on the following factors like income or buying power of the customers, quantity to be purchased, customers' taste and preferences, age and sex of the customers, lifestyle and personality of the customers, geographical area, and the education level of the customers. Customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, and customer retention are the most difficult and important tasks of the business. Understanding the demands of the customers is challenging and is getting complex day by day. Because the demand of the customers keep changing, that is why it is difficult to understand. Customer loyalty may be shifted towards the competitor if the competitor offers the product which is similar in terms of features, appearance, and price of the product offered by the business. The competitor may even sell the product at a lower price. He does so to attract the customers. Customer retention is said to be 5 times difficult than attracting a new customer. After sales services are also becoming challenging for the business. So the business, in order to succeed, ensure maximum customer satisfaction by providing high quality goods and services to the customers. The next microenvironmental factor is market intermediaries. Market intermediaries support the business in promotion, selling, and distribution of the goods or services to the final customers. Basically, the agents and brokers are the market intermediaries because they help the business to find the final customers. The market intermediaries can be middlemen, marketing agencies, financial intermediaries, and physical intermediaries. Middlemen category consists of wholesalers, retailers, and departmental stores, which helps the business products to reach the final customers. The marketing agencies include advertising agency, consultancy firm, media and market research firms. These agencies find and target the final customer for the business. Financial intermediaries include banks, financial institutions, money markets, insurance companies, and capital markets that facilitates finance for the business. Finance is the lifeblood of business and it is required at every step of the business. Physical intermediaries consist of warehouse and transportation agencies, which support the storage and delivery of the product at right time and at right place. In this way, market intermediaries find the customer for the business, promote the goods and services provided by the business, provide financial assistance to the business at any time, and store and deliver the products of the business at right place and at right time. The next microenvironmental factor is competitors. The actions and reactions of the competitors affect the performance of the business. Competitors of the business are those firms which market or produce similar products or a close substitute of the product manufactured by the business. In the current Indian business environment, no firms enjoy the position of monopoly because of the cutthroat competition in the Indian market. Globalization is promoting the competition. It is becoming difficult for the domestic firms to survive in the market. The domestic firms are finding it difficult to win over the competition. Business should identify the weakness of the competitor and make it the strength of the business. Competitors directly or indirectly affect the progress and performance of the business. It is done through sharing of customers' wallet, generic competition, product variance, and brand competitors. Let us understand each of these factors in detail. Sharing of customers' wallet means that the Indian consumers have limited income at their disposal. So, the business should actively convince the customers to buy their high quality products or services. Let us understand this with an example. For example, a middle class family in India desires to buy LCD TV, refrigerator and washing machine. It can buy one at a time, so the business should convince this family through advertising and availability of the loan facility through banks to buy these products. This was sharing of the consumer's wallet. The next factor is generic competition. Generic competition means variety of alternatives available in the same market for the product provided by the business. Let us understand this with an example. If the customer is willing to invest in mutual funds, then different mutual funds at different interest rates are available in the market of different banks. So, he has to make a choice amongst these different mutual funds offered by the different businesses. So, he has to make a choice amongst these different mutual funds available in the market. He has to understand which one is best suitable for him. The next factor is product variant. Product variant means availability of different models of the product in the market to be chosen by the customers. The most common example of this is cars. If a customer wants to purchase Skoda Octavia, then he is provided with the option of going for petrol or diesel car with or without certain specific automobile features. The next factor is brand competitors. Brand competitors can be understood by an example. Suppose if an individual wants to buy a pair of jeans, he has to choose between Lee, Levi's, Wrangler, Peppy Jeans and other brands. In the same way, if an individual wants to buy shoes, he has an option to purchase from Reebok, Adidas, Converse, Puma and other brands. So, we understand that there are many competitors in the market and it is very difficult for the business to understand the strategies of the different competitors because the business is not aware of the internal policies of the competitors. So, he has to provide the best quality of the products and he has to ensure the best marketing and advertising strategy to attract the customers. It is important for the business to keep a close watch on the action of the competitors and he should frame the business policy accordingly. The next component of microenvironment is public. Any group of individuals that has potential or actual interest in the business, or to achieve this interest, it has its impact on the business. Such group is termed as public. The public includes media public and local public. Media public consists of newspapers, magazines and journals. Favorable or unfavorable statement about the business published in any of them may positively or adversely affect the brand image of the business. Local public refers to the individuals staying nearby the business unit who influence the operation of the business. For example, if the business unit emits pollution, the local public may complain against the business unit and compel it to close down the operation completely. Similarly, the local public may appreciate the business unit for it being concerned about the pollution and taking measures to control it. In this way, public influences the operation or the performance of the business. Besides the components of microenvironment discussed earlier, there are other factors that influence the microenvironment. These factors are the different parties which affect the functioning of the business. These parties are regulatory agencies, business partners, and labor unions. Let's talk about the regulatory agencies as the factor affecting the business. There are various government or independent agencies which protect consumers' interests. Such agencies are Bureau of Indian Standards, the ISO or the International Standards Organization, Income Tax Department, Civil Aviation Authority, TRAI or Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, DRDO or Defense Research and Development Organization, and the consumer courts. In order to gain market share and increase customer base, the business has to adhere to these statutory or regulatory provisions. The next factor is the business partners. The business partner is the most important party which works for and with the business. Businesses rely on business partners for their support in business policies, in times of financial stringency, in the times of crisis, for new business avenues, for sources of supply, and for introduction of the business to the new market. So, the business partners help the business to grow. The next factor is labor union. For the smooth functioning of the business, it is very important that the business should maintain amicable and healthy industrial relationship between workers and the management. Usually in large size organization, there are thousands of workers. So, these workers form the labor union. This labor union negotiates periodically with the management to increase their wages, for their retirement benefits, and to provide them with other facilities. If the genuine demands of the workers are not satisfied or not fulfilled, then they may go for strike or lockout, which may disturb the functioning of the business. The labor union may have political backing, or they may involve antisocial elements in their group to get their demands fulfilled. So, in this way they pressurize the business organization. So, the business is required to skillfully tackle these labor unions. Any kind of problem related to the labor union affects the smooth functioning of the business. It disturbs the production of the products and services provided by the business. Because the production of the goods and services provided by the business depends entirely upon the support of the labor union. These were the various factors affecting the microenvironment. Thus, to conclude, it can be said that the external environment is divided into microenvironment and the macroenvironment. The microenvironment includes factors like suppliers, customers, market intermediaries, competitors, public, other factors like regulatory agencies, business partners, and labor unions. Microenvironment is the immediate environment in the vicinity of the business. It affects the functioning of the business. That is why it is known as the operating environment of the business. Different components of microenvironment affects different industries or different business firms differently. For example, a flour miller will have to stop the operation of its business if the customers drift towards the packaged flour brand like ITC's Ashirwad. The competition will be very tough in this case because ITC has a very good brand image in the Indian market. Business should keep an eye on the changing microenvironmental factors, and it should have a backup plan to continue its journey in the market. The business should be adaptable to the changes and should maintain good relationship with the workers, employees, suppliers and the customers to help the business grow. The business management should frame policies and strategies according to the microenvironmental factors and the changes in the microenvironmental factors. The business should ensure no compromise on the quality standards of the goods and services provided by the business. A firm can be successful only if it continues to provide high quality of goods and services to the customers and ensure customer satisfaction and customer loyalty. If the customers are happy with the goods and services provided by the business, then they will be satisfied with the firm and they will ensure a long-term loyalty towards the business. The firm should treat the customer as the king of the market. Business should conduct research on the taste and preferences of the customers time to time and try to provide the goods and services of high quality which exactly match the taste and preferences of the customers. The quality sales services and after sales services provided by business plays a very important role in the brand image of the business. So, high quality of after sales services should be provided by the business. Business should keep a track of multiple suppliers so that the supply of raw material is never stopped. Support of market intermediaries is very important for the functioning of the business. Business require financial resources for all the business activities, and the market intermediaries help the business in best advertising of the product of the firm and reaching out the final customers of the business. Market intermediaries also help the business in financial assistance required at any time. Business partners help the business at the time of crisis as well as help the business in the new avenues or new ventures. The role of local and media public is very important in the business because they build or destroy the brand image of the business. Favorable statement by the local public in media for business can help the business in winning customers through the brand recommended by the individuals. Similarly, a statement against business firm by the public can destroy the business image altogether. So, we have now understood that the microenvironmental factors are not in control of the business and they play a very crucial role in the performance of the business. It is also important to know that these factors keep on changing. They are dynamic. They are not constant. Business should maintain good relationship with these parties in microenvironment to ensure their support anytime. These factors are dynamic, so the business should keep an eye on them and adjust itself according to the changes in the microenvironmental factors. Best business policies should be framed by the business to win over the competition, and business should analyze the changes in the microenvironmental factors. It should understand them and change the policies accordingly to keep the business growing forever. Thank you, students.